So let's just get on with game 2.
Game 2. Pretty close. Pretty close last round. DK Jungle is home of the jank. Anything can happen, especially poorly timed buddy jumps because the CPUs don't know how to react to the roots.
Or a poorly timed earthquake in here.
Poorly timed earthquake as well. It's the more immediately obvious threat.
I think the earthquakes have given the Magic Koopas like
Please.
Oh! What? No way!
Baby! I'm telling you, Dixie's like...
This is incredible!
Dixie's my favorite player on this team. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everyone thinks Dixie is Garbo, and like, Dixie's good in Superstar Baseball because she had pitching. She doesn't have pitching in this game. She's not like she's not
terrible in this game.
She's not good, but like some people think like she's the worst in the game, and I don't agree with that sentiment at all. But,
especially not with when it's human players playing with them, because like I use her and Tiny Kong star swings I use a lot, just because
really high, but still got that. Yeah,
I think it lands just between the outfield and the infield, so like it's not there's no power to it or anything, but it almost always lands for at least something.
Yeah.
Unless you have like Bowser in right field and he attacks it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Clamber is an unexplored ability. I've been meaning to test this for a while now. I want to no, could have been dangerous. I've been meaning to test this for a while, but based on what little footage we have of the ability, I feel like there's no like height limit for how high a ball can be for Clamber to catch it. And I really want to test that.
That actually sounds really interesting.
Because like I remember unfortunate.
I was kind of saying that at the beginning, those earthquakes just... I don't know how many Magic Koopa home runs they've been able to get on this park because of that.
But the thing about Clamber is, from what little footage we have from like, I remember like one specific clip when Mario Sluggers fan club, when they were like ranking the abilities or whatever, they needed footage of Clamber and they had like Tiny Kong. Like, and in that one clip, the ball was like 2 Tiny Kongs above her, but she was still able to catch with Clamber, and that's got me thinking, maybe there are situations where, oh, that's ripped. It's over the roots. Are they gonna line up properly? They actually do. Okay. I'll go into detail about the roots later, but to finish my tirade about Clamber, I feel like it could possibly have some niche utility if like the ball is like hit dead center like super fast, like too fast for the other person to get there, and in that instance, Clamber might be useful to be able to. Or if there was having to wait for a second fielder.
I think that, or if there was a park like, I think the only two that I can think of would be BJ Playroom and Bowser's Castle.
Yeah, it is
where
very
there's just
independent.
Because I mean, like, you're not doing anything with this in Mario Stadium. You're not.
Yeah, Wario City has no walls. Daisy Cruiser's got no walls.
But then you have those other two that I was mentioning, where, like, I don't think the home run threat is that big on either of those two stadiums, but it is always going to hit off of that wall, so you're always going to get at least a double.
Ooh, it's crushed.
Surely that's...
Is it even possible to...
They're going to be buddy jump?
On land. Is it even possible to get up there?
I honestly don't know if it is.
But I guess first thing say Dixie's the GOAT in the like solo character tournament. She beat King Boo 6-2. So yeah, who's the better player? The stats are right there. They don't lie. CPU Dixie has the most, I feel, unprecedented homers, like right next to Baby Daisy. It's wild. But the roots. This is just me, like, spitballing, like, theory crafting on this. I feel like, so, know the clip and like the custom like Mario Kart track that's crushed again, where the where like
the home run animation will play,
plays.
and it's like a his missile to right field.
Yeah. I feel like now I don't know for this is just like me spitballing here. I feel like there's a difference between like the ooh, it was real bad. The actual boundaries of the stadium and what I'm going to call the inner bounds, which is what the perimeter that the game uses to signify like a dinger animation or something.
Mm-hmm. And for like where CPUs decide they're actually gonna run after the ball.
Mm-hmm. Since those routes, they get in the way like a lot, and I feel like maybe my like just tinfoil hat theory. The developers, they put like the inner bounds in front of the routes because the awkward geometry made it harder for the CPUs to like properly like line up their buddy jumps on it, and it was just easier to have them buddy jump further ahead than to try to like fix their AI or whatever.
And I think that actually that's gone.
It's so slow though, off the foul pole.
Doesn't matter when Koopa's doing nothing.
Yeah, and actually, looking at this thinger, it's not just the routes that are a bit awkward on this map. You see, like where the tiki torch is, that section of the wall protrudes further outwards than the two neighboring segments.
That's gonna be it for Boo's day.
Yeah, he's already out of there. Second inning.
Survived longer than he did the first game.
Ooh, what a snag. Also, the fireballs remind me another completely unrelated, a random technical oddity with this game's programming that I discovered upon using the multiple like characters cheat code. I noticed that what the jump?
What?
He still had time to die for that after the jump. Oh my, what? Okay. He still had time to die.
This is the strangest catch I've seen in a decent amount of time.
No, he missed like with his initial jump. Then he was like, "Oh shit!" Boom.
Better dive after that one.
But I noticed that like the particle effects for things like Fire Bro's like fire catch or like the fireball item, they wouldn't show up when like Fire Bro did the catch or like got hit. That was a strike? Crazy. They wouldn't show up even though like they used the attack, and I was like, huh, maybe that's just an emulator bug. You know, we are running. I don't think any of us have a Sluggers, like a proper Sluggers ISO.
And I think that might be similar to what happens with. Oh, sorry.
No, you go first.
And I think that might just be an oddity with the multiple characters bug. Yeah. Because I think that's the reason the particles weren't showing up. I think that's probably got to be something similar to like when you're using the duplicate Miis. Oh
yeah, actually yes, it is related. I figured out that it was related looking back at the footage. Ooh. Hammer Bro, no way, he's actually gonna make it? The slow Koopa toss. Yes, I later on, after I looked back at the footage, I did find out that it actually was related to the multiple character code, because in a replay where somebody got hit by a fireball, I think it was either Baby DK or like Red Mag or something. In the replay, for like a couple of seconds and slightly out of frame, somebody got hit by a fireball, but then a completely different Magic Koopa had the fireball particle effect on them. And I imagine that Magic Koopa was the original. So
that is straight. And I mean,
I assume like the particle effects, they're tied to not specific players, but maybe like a character ID. I don't know anything about this game's code, so I'm probably using the wrong term here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's most likely the same thing that causes the headless Miis.
I think it almost has to, because if you look at all those cases, it's not 9 headless Miis. There's 8 of them, and you still have the original one still has their head on. So I'm assuming.
Yeah, it is very odd.
I think it just might be tied to whichever one's chosen first, but I don't know how that actually works technically.
Yeah. I don't know. Me neither. It was probably easier than like actually assigning it to each each character specifically. Look, I don't know. From what little I know about programming, is that you always want to be taking shortcuts because programming sucks. It is monotonous and it takes forever. So anything to like, oh my gosh, redemption arc? Koopa redemption?
Is it time?
Oh. Man.
Funky Kong was just playing on him. He was walking towards it. Right at the last second starts running after it.
He realized that he didn't want he would have been if he didn't want to be the one who gave up the Koopa home run. He would never have been able to live that down.
The second one to give up a Koopa home run.
A stay on
you forgot about
a race.
You forgot about Bowser staying on his MVP case.
Oh no.
Gave up the home run to Red Koopa the day they traded him.
Ooh. Very scary situation. I mean, like, still got a 7-run head, but like, base is loaded.
Daisy's not gonna run.
No. And like, considering how she probably could have been thrown out at third, I don't blame her. That's crushed. Is it making it out? Tiny's not hustling.
That's gone.
Oh. Hey,
we might actually have a comeback on our hands.
For Huesos. Right here. It is a much, much closer game now. Wiggler's staying in the face of a grand slam. Bro's got stamina.
I think...
Is it another one? Okay, no.
No.
No plug walk unless... Both fireballs hit.
Can I stay at second?
Yeah.
That's probably smart. And I think... I actually have a question.
Yeah.
What do you remember was like the worst Wiggler outing of that first CPU league you had? Because I've heard stories of how great he was. It's just I don't really know. I'm going to
look back at the game results real quick because honestly, I'm struggling to remember the specifics.
Because it sounds like, from what I've heard, he's just dominating everybody.
Okay. I think since, in the regular season at least. Ooh, what a jump.
Nice catch from Green Madge.
He's very tall. Got that wand on him. In the regular season at least. This trend started before Wiggler was switched in, but since Wiggler was added to the team, Suckman's team did not drop a single game. In the regular season, at least. Yeah, they got, like, it was a close loss, like, it was like a go-ahead home run in their first game, and then, what is, frankly, a war crime in their second game against Jungle Rush, in the second game against Jungle Rush, where everyone pitched. Is this the first Wario dinger? Nope. It's not.
I was almost hoping for that.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see one.
Yeah. It was like, let me look at the scores for that. Hold up. Where's my I had to log back into Play Pass to see this. I'm trying to see where are my schedule. I go to the dashboard. Where I can't find. Damn, this is really important because I haven't finished archiving all the VODs yet. I can't find the freaking schedule. But yeah, Suckman, he was close loss in the first game, and then lost like 32-11 in the second, even though we had Mercy Rule on, because it was the last inning. And that, I think that was the birth of Punish Stuckmund. The team.
Can you say that score again?
32-11, I believe. Against Jungle Rush. And
Christ.
Everyone was sent in to pitch that game, including PD. It was so it was already over, but as soon as PD got put into pitch, it was so Jover.
That sounds like the All-Star game that we had. Except,
part of my disdain for Paragoomba actually began in that game because he could have like super jumped to stop like 1, maybe 2, if memory serves, DK Grand Slams that were like piss missiles right down the middle, but he didn't. And then after that, that's when Punish Stuckmund came out. The team went through a complete restructure, and then trades happened, and the team got even stronger because he added Wiggler. And at least for the rest of the regular season, he didn't drop a game.
How was his playoff run? Because I know he ended up winning it all. How close
I believe,
was it?
if memory serves, it was 0-2 against H team with a 9-inning game. Wiggler, what are you doing? It was 0-2 in the play for the wild card round against 8. First game was pretty cleanly his favor. Ooh. Messed with the roots. I wasn't even going out. The roots are funny.
That's a jank hitbox from it, because that looked like it should have been over. But
yeah, it was 0-2 in the wild play-in against 8. Game 2 was 9 innings of no scores until a Wiggler dinger right down the middle. Wiggler's great, let me tell ya. Also, I was about to say, is Critter gonna go back to third? And then, Game 2 was against his demon Jungle Rush. I believe that was the full best of 5 set. So the win streak, Jungle Rush was able to end the win streak, but they couldn't take the set out of the new improved Jungle Rush.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it only took 5 games in the best of 7 for the World Series for him to take it.
That's not a bad run.
Not at all. Dude, I was so fucking dead. Like, we did 2 best of 5 sets that night.
Mm-hmm.
For the semifinals before the World Series. I was sick that day, I think, too. I was either sick or I became sick because of how late I stayed up. It was bad. I literally could not commentate the final game, even though it was literally poetic. Why did they buddy jump for that?
There's no need for that.
So unnecessary. They could have just run 2 meters to the left. Like the roots. This is why.
The more I watch this game, the more I'm thinking you had probably the perfect reasoning for why.
Dead ball didn't bounce out. Let's check that to be a ground rule double or something.
Oh, did you see there when they were hitting it towards the roots? Were you looking at Tiny in left field?
I noticed they were sprinting as if it was going out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna end up pointing out. Like, I really do think they put that hitbox in front of it.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know. As much as I would love to have been part of like the modding scene, like people data mining. Oh shit,
that's out.
Making that. I'm very glad Critter and Hammer Bro have similar like throwing arms to prevent situations like that, even without laser. Although speaking of Critter Hammer Bro, I think theoretically Hammer Bro would be better at shortstop than Critter because he has a slightly better throwing arm than Critter does. Which is better for like making the farther throw from third to first.
Mm-hmm.
But I put him at second because of that outdated bad chemistry diagram that said that Blooper had bad chem with Hammer Bro. And I was like,
I forgot it said that.
And I was like, okay, if bad chem triggers, then that's going to be way worse. So I'm going to put him in center where there's a less likely chance of the throw to be as detrimental. But it didn't even have bad chem. So, like, didn't even matter anyway, but it feels wrong to change it now. Especially when I've got DK at third. So the same reasoning applies, except actually has a valid point behind it. Honestly, maybe I've been giving, maybe we've been letting, I'm sure I've been letting Wiggler pitch from the beginning. I feel like DK's been hogging, like DK's good, but like
he's not been taking up this many
innings. All the pitching talks. Ooh, that's ripped into the root zone too. Are they actually gonna line up?
Yep. That Wiggler changeup. You'd be surprised how many people I've actually gotten with that online.
Really?
With him and Critter's changeup, because they're just that extremely low angle with them. Like, obviously, if I'm going against Ribs and I play, I'm trying to pitch with Wiggler's changeup, like that is not going to work at all. But like, with some of the people that were newer to the game, you'd be surprised how many times you can get people with that.
I think it really goes to show, I don't think there is a Sluggers meta, really.
I think it depends who you're playing almost 100% of the time.
Like, the meta, it's so, the scene is so small and like, the strategies are so underdeveloped that really, everyone just picks their favorites. And honestly, that's the best strategy.
Because it's what they're used to.
Yeah, it's what they're used to. It's what they win with. Which, like, by definition, isn't a metagame, because the metagame is what everyone else is doing. Except everyone else is doing something different. Like, yeah, there's some common trends. But there's no, like, defined team comp where like you have to like this is the drafting strategy you should go for if you want to win the most. Like, no, that doesn't exist.
There's like a couple players you go after, but it doesn't define your strategy.
No, it doesn't.
Critter just walking after that ball.
It's just sauntering over, just leaves it behind.
He'll get to it tomorrow.
God, this is reminding me of the one Little League season where my team didn't get dead last. There were only 4 teams.
That's gonna score at least 2.
Yeah, good start hit. Actually, like, that's like when you want to, well, maybe not with Critter specifically, but that's when you want, that's when you want to star hit, like, if you're like a human who's smart enough to understand how to use star hits. And it worked out. Oh my god.
I think it's about time for the other match.
A little bit higher, it would have counted for a foul pole bigger. Well, not a little higher. It needs to be higher than the wall that's right directly to the right of the foul pole.
Mate, could you imagine playoff game with 2 Dixie Dingers, all in the exact same spot?
Ooh, nasty.
Nice play to get out of the inning.
Hey, I guess Blue Critter did end up getting into it later. Here's the triple play.
Probably would have been better to prevent the 3 runs, but
yeah. But no, this like the seeing the CPU just like jog over and then not grab it reminds me of like, so the one like Little League season where our team didn't get last in the game to determine like who would get second place. Yo, that's fucking crushed. Oh my god.
You know, there was no stopping that.
I don't think, even if you could, even with all my clamber theory talk earlier, I don't even know if you're allowed to clamber up the foul pole to grab that.
I think I'm gonna be spending a lot of hours with clamber after this game. Just trying to learn how it works. And DK's not gonna close it for you.
This was not part of the plan. Okay. I mean, Wiggler, you're doing great, but I guess Wario wanted to hog the spotlight.
Sounds like him.
It is the bottom of the 7th. So this would be his
and
last
they are up
chance to do
6.
It. Now I just need to hope that his ego doesn't cost us the game. I mean, that would be a very, like, To
be honest, I was not expecting this, but...
Please, man. Don't choke this. It's not worth it. It's not... I that your dinger was robbed earlier, but come on.
Feels like we're in the 9th inning and the Phillies decide to put in Craig Kimbrell because why not?
Give him a chance. But yeah, in
Let him
like,
cook.
a Little League game that determined like who would move on for like our final series, the guaranteed top 2. The other team, we had like a couple like bad grounders, but the kids on the other team, they just like stopped just short of grabbing it for some reason. They didn't want to play that day, and that gave us the leeway to take it. Dixie MVP, deserved.
I love
100%.
that. I love that so much.
Look at that. 100 in batting from the dinger.
50 fielding is
50
insane.
fielding from how many buddy jumps she was involved in. That is wild.
I absolutely love that.
Dude, I'm telling you, Dixie's the GOAT.
Man, Koopa, what are you doing?
Koopa.
Well, you're off to the World Series now.
Up to the World Series. Okay.
Off the back of Dixie home run. I never
Dixie
thought I'd be
home
saying
run.
that.
Telling you, I was always a believer. Anyways, thoughts on the set as a whole? It was, I think it's
probably gonna end up being. I was gonna say the closest set, but I think the World Series is probably gonna end up being closer.
Series,
out of the ones we've had so far, this was by far the closest.
Yeah. I really liked the back and forth at the beginning of game 1. I just wish that didn't turn into a back and forth of zeros.
All the way into extras for like.
Half.
Was it the 8th or 9th?
It was the 8th, I believe, is when when we finally broke free. And I don't know. You know, the thing about Sluggers, which kind of sucks, is you can't get counterpicked by your own stadium, and that's I feel like that's what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
Not just with the Dixie home run, but with the Earthquakes, or Earthquake singular that gave up a run or so, as well early.